Dear friends, I welcome you to the delicious channel Secret Chef. This cake looks like a real work of art, with a delicate melting cream inside and crunchy nut layers. Such a dessert was served to kings. Today I will prepare with you the legendary Esterhazy cake. Let's start cooking. I wish everyone good luck in the kitchen. First, let's prepare the parchment paper. I have already traced 4 19-centimeter circles for the cake using a pastry ring, and now we have 2 more to go. So we end up with 6 cake layers that are 12 centimeters each. Here is the cake ring, and you need to trace it with a pencil or a pen so that everything fits diagonally like this. We prepare everything first, and then we can calmly make the dough. Everything is ready. We will flip them and place them on the baking sheet so the pencil marks don't touch the dough. I have prepared 2 types of nuts. I lightly roasted the almonds and hazelnuts in the oven at 160 degrees for 15 minutes. Now we need to grind them all up. We add them to the food processor. We need it to be flour, not a paste. Let's grind it. This is the consistency we need. Before using, we must wash and dry the dishes thoroughly. I have prepared 8 eggs, and now we will separate the yolks from the whites. Do this carefully so that not a single drop of yolk, which is fat, gets into the bowl with the whites. We should end up with about 270 grams of egg white and 140 grams of yolk. My eggs are category C1 and at room temperature. That is it, we are all set. 8 yolks and 8 whites. The yolks go into the cream, and the whites will be for the cake layers. You must understand that the bowls and whisks must be grease-free and dry. Add the whites to the bowl. Not a drop of water, not a drop of fat. Add a pinch of salt, literally just a knife tip's worth. I have prepared 270 grams of sugar, and we start whisking until it's light and foamy. A light foam has formed, and now we are gradually adding sugar and will beat it for 15 to 20 minutes. If you are using a hand mixer, 15 to 20 minutes. If a stand mixer, then about 10 to 12 minutes. Gradually add the sugar and beat. It is very important to start whisking at a low speed so that the sugar, its grains, fully dissolve. If the sugar does not dissolve and moisture remains at the bottom, the meringue will not turn out well. Therefore, it is very important to first whisk at a low speed until stiff peaks form, and then at a high speed. You should by no means reduce the sugar. Once all the sugar is added, beat at high speed until stiff peaks form for at least 10 to 15 minutes. This is the consistency we should have. White, glossy with a pearly sheen, and if you turn it over, look, our egg whites do not fall. This means there is no moisture at the bottom and all the sugar has dissolved. Exactly 15 minutes have passed, the mixture is ready, and now we add the ground nuts. Look at the consistency we have achieved. Weightless, airy, with a pearly sheen, it is very beautiful. Nuts are fatty, so the mixture will deflate a little now, so add them delicately. I did not grind the nuts too finely so they can be felt in the layers. Mix everything well, gently from bottom to top. And the last one. The mixture is even making a sound. It is weightless and very beautiful. There is no need to mix it for long. Everything is ready, and now we will spread it onto the parchment. We place the parchment and now spread it all out evenly at once. We try to make it even. We should end up with 6 layers. We distribute the whole mixture at once. It will bake gradually. We distribute everything at once. If you want to be absolutely sure about everything, then of course it is better to weigh it. Everything is by eye. It seems to me that everything is the same, and now we will distribute it. I have already turned the oven on to 160 degrees. Try to make the thickness the same at the edges and in the middle. This is a very delicious cake. We really love this cake. You must try making it. Let me know in the comments how yours turns out. Would you like to bake Soviet cakes with me like Absheron or Kievsky cake? Please write in the comments. I would love to bake skazka or poliot with you, those famous Soviet cakes. We will bake at 160 degrees for 35 to 40 minutes. Adjust based on your oven. I do not put in 2 trays, I only put one in the middle of the oven, and we prepare the second one as well. It is better to flip them so they dry out more easily, just like that, quite simply. And your cake layers can wait like this for an hour. Nothing bad will happen to them. Now let's make the cream. Put 300 milliliters of milk on the stove. We need to bring it to a steaming point. In a bowl, combine 1 tablespoon of cornstarch, add 1 teaspoon of vanilla sugar, 80 grams of sugar, and mix everything well with a whisk. Add the egg yolks here as well and mix everything until smooth. We have ended up with this beautiful yellow mixture. It is very important that there are no lumps, so mix it thoroughly. Everything is ready. Here is the mixture. The milk is ready too. Gradually add the milk, it is steaming hot, and stir it well and vigorously. Mix everything well and now return it to the same container. We need to cook it until it thickens. As soon as the first bubbles appear, turn it off. Wait just another 20 seconds and turn it off. That is it. We have no lumps. Pour it out, go over the bottom once more, and pour everything into the container. We will get a beautiful yellow cream. Place it over medium heat and cook, stirring constantly. This will take you about 3 to 4 minutes. Do not leave the stove. We absolutely do not need to boil this mixture for long. Now, as soon as it starts to boil, reduce the heat and wait literally another 20 seconds, then turn it off. The mixture is already starting to thicken. I have reduced the heat and now we stir intensively. There they are, the first bubbles. Turn it off. We've taken the mixture off the heat and keep stirring. It should turn out nice and glossy like this. We transfer it into a container. And now we cover it with plastic wrap, pressing it onto the surface. It must be covered directly on the surface so a crust doesn't form, keeping the cream as smooth as possible, and let it cool to room temperature like this. If you want it faster, you can put it in the fridge. And now let's prepare the praline. Spread 130 grams of almonds over the surface and add 130 grams of sugar to it. Now we will put it over medium heat. We need it all to melt, the sugar to melt, and cook this mixture for about 2 minutes. Place the pan over a medium heat setting and patiently wait for the sugar to begin melting down into a syrup. You can help the process along by gently swirling the pan from side to side, just like this. Once it starts to shift and the sugar is melting, you can finally assist it with a spatula, but please do not touch it until that point. As soon as the sugar begins to release its moisture, just a little bit, very gently, like this, quite carefully, the moisture will start to spread evenly throughout the sugar. Do not touch it with a spatula yet. Let about 80% of the mass start to melt, then reduce the heat and let it simmer for 2 full minutes. It is starting to reach a boil right about now. It can burn quite easily at this point, so everything needs to happen very quickly. Once it has completely melted, we start to combine all of the ingredients together. From the moment that it is all combined, wait exactly 2 minutes and then take it off the heat source. Now, you must mix everything together quite vigorously and thoroughly. The mixture has heated up quite nicely, so the sugar will no longer clump together. Let's go ahead and set a timer for 2 full minutes. The temperature is currently running very high. Please be very careful not to burn yourself. The almonds are roasting away in the sugar right now, and it is turning into a truly delicious praline. That is it. Our kitchen timer is just about up. Now we will take it off the heat. I have already prepared some parchment paper to pour the praline onto, so that it can properly cool down. Look at that, it's lovely. Just a few seconds left and I'll turn it off. You can make praline with hazelnuts too, but I really prefer it with almonds. Turning it off, it's all done. Remove from the heat, pour it onto the prepared parchment and spread it out with a spatula. It needs to dry and set. It's already starting to set, so we have to work quickly. Spread it all out in a single layer like this. Let it cool completely and then we'll break it off. It's best to use high quality silicone coated parchment paper, so it will come off perfectly once it's cooled. All done. The initial layers of the cake are ready. They have browned quite beautifully. They were in the oven for 40 minutes and now we are baking the second batch while we let these ones cool down. They have dried out in a perfect manner. Look at how these cake layers turned out. They peel off the parchment paper perfectly. This is how well they should be baked, coming off without any trouble. That's it, our layers have cooled down. If there happens to be a bit too much excess around the edges, you can simply go ahead and trim it off. While the cake layers are finishing up in the oven, take a look at how well everything has set. It looks absolutely perfect. To make it easier and not overload the chopper or blender, I'm going to break it into pieces like this, and then we'll process it. We need to reach a paste-like consistency. It's so delicious, even just with tea. You can store this praline in the refrigerator and add it to your pancakes or any desserts you like, or use it to bake cookies, prepare sandwiches, and so much more. This is 10 ways. It is already turning into such an incredibly appetizing and truly fragrant mixture. This is the paste-like consistency we're looking for, aromatic and absolutely delicious. We'll be adding this to our cream. For the cream, we'll need 300 grams of room temperature butter with 82% fat content. Whip it until it increases in volume and turns white. Now, you should begin to gradually add the custard, since both the custard and the butter are at the same room temperature. Mix everything together until it is smooth. Please incorporate all of the ingredients very gently. Also, gradually add the praline and mix until smooth. Look at this beautiful toffee-colored cream we've made. It is so delicious and so delicate. Just take a moment to look at it. It is simply gorgeous. We'll set aside 100 grams for the sides of the cake and start assembling it. I'm assembling it on a small plate. It's the most convenient for me. Make sure to put some cream on the bottom so the cake stays in place. The cake layer broke a little, so I trimmed the edges. Don't you worry about a thing. Now we spread the cream across the top. It will soften up a little bit and then we will set it. Why on earth did I pick such a tiny cramped bowl? It'll be simple to sprinkle these almond flakes on top at the end. Make sure you spread everything out evenly across the surface. This cake is assembled like a Napoleon. First, all the layers are coated, then pressed down and everything settles into place. We see Caesar. And now we are ready for the next layer of our cake. We will press down on the cake and use the excess cream to coat the sides. Oh, it smells absolutely amazing in here. Now we press down gently so the layers have time to settle. Just be careful not to press too hard or it might crumble. And there we go, that looks perfect. It takes roughly 2 hours to bake this cake, but I can assure you that it's truly well worth the time. Set these steps in. You should gently press down and then finish up the frosting. And this right here is the exact moment where I ended up pressing just a little bit too hard. We also coat the sides of the dish and then we place it inside the refrigerator so it can set. For this, it's more convenient to use a plate like this, one without a rim, so it's not deep. It's very convenient to work with the cake this way. Here in America, this cake, the Esterhazy, is very popular and it's quite expensive. A half cake costs $56 and of course, I don't even know what ingredients it's made with. But imagine, you can make a cake like this at home yourself and you know what you've put into it, that you've bought organic, good quality ingredients. I mean, that's very important. Don't try too hard to smooth out the sides because it's going to be set now. We'll be adding a white chocolate glaze on top, so any imperfections won't be visible. And we'll have toasted almond flakes on the sides. It's great that this cake doesn't need to be perfectly smooth. I, for one, don't like doing that. I really love mousse cakes, and I love cakes like this that you don't have to fuss over decorating. No, we're putting it in the fridge for about 20 minutes. Pour boiling water over 20 grams of dark chocolate. We need the chocolate to melt. We're going to decorate the cake. Pour the hot cream over 70 grams of white chocolate. I have 25 milliliters here, and we should mix it all together very well. You can soften it in the microwave. In short, control the bursts, or use a gentle water bath. But please watch that the temperature does not rise above 34 degrees. If you don't do this, your chocolate will turn out looking rather dull. So our chocolate fudge has now reached that ideal, perfect consistency, and we are applying it over the top of our wonderful cake, spreading it out evenly. The cake has now set perfectly, just as we want it. This is the way we spread the icing across the entire surface. It really is such a stunning and elegant shade of ivory. This mixture is going to set almost instantly, so we really need to work quite quickly, especially since it contains both fresh cream and this high-quality calabash chocolate. Now, we are going to pipe that classic signature pattern that is so characteristic of a traditional Esterhazy cake right on top. And even if the lines end up being a little bit uneven, please don't you worry about it, because it is still going to look absolutely beautiful. I'm doing it like this with one hand, and now we'll get all the necessary drawings. We are certainly going to comply. And now we come to the part that is actually quite simple. This is the way that we go about getting things done. It is really turning out to be quite beautiful. You know, just look at that. It is absolutely gorgeous. Even if there are some things that did not turn out quite right in certain spots, look closely. You really cannot see any flaws at all. I have here some wonderfully toasted almond flakes, and I am gently sprinkling them all over the top, just like this. Almond flakes usually at 160 degrees for 10 to 15 minutes. It's very convenient. You can hold the plate in your hands so it doesn't spill, and then just go over it like this. It's turning out really beautiful, and now we'll definitely lay some out along the edge here as well. Look at how lovely it all looks already. Just like this, go ahead and lightly sprinkle it over the top. It really looks absolutely lovely. Now, why bother to toast the almonds? Because they tend to get a bit soft from the cream, and toasted almonds will give your cake a truly magnificent, unforgettable flavor. We'll put it in the fridge overnight so it can properly set. When serving for a special occasion, take it out at least an hour beforehand so the cream is nice, soft, and pleasant. Just look at this absolute beauty right here. Really, look at this magnificent cake. What are your thoughts? Tomorrow morning, I'll show you exactly what it looks like inside. It's delicate, wonderfully nutty, and perfectly balanced. This isn't just a simple cake, it is truly pure delight. Take just one bite and you will immediately understand. Be sure to try making this at home and let me know how it turns out. Save the recipe, hit like, and subscribe so you don't miss any of my new desserts. There are some desserts that you just keep wanting to come back to, and the Esterhazy cake is definitely one of those. Thank you for cooking along with me. I'll see you in the next recipe. Bye bye.